Hey Collective, thank you for joining me today in this most recent energetic update video. There is a lot that I wish to be sharing, and I want to say that it's going to be incredibly important for you to be tapping into the frequencies that you are experiencing right now, but also to be taking stock on where you have been in your life path and on your journey up until this present given moment in time. And what I was doing last week was a complete, I want to say, relay of my entire life's journey at a capacity that I just haven't been able to reach before. And it's because the energies around us have been increasing. So I was able to see everything through much of a higher perspective for myself. And we are in eclipse season still, everyone. And for some time, I've been sharing over on my Instagram that it's incredibly important to do this shadow work. So if you've been called to be doing some shadow work, please do this now, because you are really going to be able to take massive strides in your expression. And moving into 2026 onwards, I think we are in for quite a shock, everyone, in the best possible way, because it feels to me like there is a lot that is coming around a lot quicker for the collective. And I shared this in the most recent GA message, which is titled The Truth. If you forget to be in this in real, well, if you don't get to be in this in real time, or you forget to watch that channeling if you are in real time, I'm going to tag that in the description below as well for you, because this message and this update and that message are very much in tandem with one another. So please do check that out. And in that message with the GA, I mentioned that, it doesn't matter where you are in your life path, whether you consider yourself to be a divine channel in the ways that you see me channel. However you receive information is of the highest frequency to you. And it's not that information is capped from others. You are just experiencing it in a very different way. And how I receive information is not the same as other people that consider themselves to be a channel. And it took me some time to stop comparing myself to others, to truly accept the ways in that I do communicate with the souls that are around me that wish to communicate with me, my cosmic origins, ancestors, and otherwise. It took me some time to figure that out. And it was very much a trial and error that this whole expression has come forward through me. And I'm still learning every single day, everyone. The path is never won, the path is never done. So every day there is an opportunity to gain more understanding and to also enhance your capabilities. And I want to say that we are in spaces now where we are moving into paradigms of we are being given so much more than we've ever been given. And I'm incredibly elated for this, because it just felt like I was being stopped at every turn, every corner, when I was trying to tap into more, to exceed into a deeper understanding. I just thought, why am I not being given this information? It's because the collective wasn't ready to receive that true level of understanding. If I was to know the full truths, we have been sharing truths over here, but if I was to know it all, this would have an effect on the collective understanding. So remember that too. If you're not being given the information on something, and this might be very close to your personal understanding, and know that every aspect of your life is here for the collective understanding too. We are living very micro expressions of the macro that is out there. And my life has been interwoven with some of the darkest timelines that could possibly exist in this paradigm. And it took me some time to really accept and believe that as truth, even though the signs were there, the evidence is being given time and time again. It was just so expansive and so painful. I just couldn't accept it. So I want to say to souls that might be struggling with that narrative too, please go easy, please go well. And please know that however you decide to, respond to the truths that you are being given, have grace within yourself, because there is so much that is given to a soul that has to come in its own divine way. So trust in that too. If you don't have answers to something, it's because you're not supposed to, and because that is going to then affect the whole entirety of this grid that we find here on earth as well. And for some time, I found it very, very, very frustrating, because I wasn't being given the answers that I was I wasn't being given the answer to the questions that I was asking. So I eventually just stopped asking questions. And I think it used to infuriate some around me, because I didn't ask teams of light that many questions. I would just say, this is the answer, this is what I'm being given. And, I'm not going to ask anymore, because I knew that I wasn't going to be given anymore. So I just trust in everything that I'm being given and the reasons why that it's there. And, this is why it's so important to learn to understand your own energetic frequency and learn to self-soothe, because you really have to remain in balance here to be able to receive that which you perhaps are asking for too. And we are coming into times, which I shared with the most recent GA message, that we are being given so much more information, so much more in terms of a heightened state of frequency, because we have been raising the frequency of here on earth, and we are now stepping into times and into vibrations that we've never ever experienced here on earth. So we are going to have to really buckle in, everyone, for the years that are to come. And this is such a small paradigm of what is going to be the grand scheme and the grand play, but I feel like it is really crucial right now what we are anchoring in, which is why it's going to be so important to make real tough decisions for yourself. And it's been a really challenging time for me in the most recent months because I was really having to put myself first. And I think that this has been the first time in this life path that I've been able to do that. Every inch of my being and my life up until this moment was here to help others predominantly. And that's not to say that I haven't learned lessons along the way, but I decided to connect with a lot of souls here that had incredibly dark life paths, that I was trying to pull them ever more into the light and into that deeper expression of what it means to be a soul here, you know, that is trying to convert into something that is much more malleable in the expression of all that is in terms of the highest vibration here. So I've been connected to a lot of souls that was having to do real deep challenging work. So I was a light for them, I was a guiding expression for them, and especially, you know, a real deep trigger for some, so that they could snap into these new fragments of reality for themselves, and this was going to be a higher vibration for them. So it's been an incredibly challenging life for me, and sometimes I've expressed this before. There have been times in this pathway and in this journey in this life that I would snap into a different existence, and I would look around and I would think, what is going on? Why am I here? What is happening? And then I would feel this real deep sinking feeling, and then would snap back in, and it was like I just remembered what I was supposed to be doing. And in those moments I was remembering my soul's understanding, and I was being reawakened to this expression of, you know, not everything is as it seems. And I want to say to everyone, and you know, I think I've been hesitant to share this because I don't want to scare anyone, but I want to say that it's really interesting how my life path has played out in the most recent weeks, because I very much feel that what I'm living in this present given time is so far from my true reality that I'm existing in elsewhere. This is so much more of a simulation that I've been playing here, that has been, you know, tapping into different frequencies and different pathways for me. But I feel almost like this truth is so far from my real truth of reality that it is hard to put into understanding. And I think that's why it's so difficult to try and make others understand your own singular life path, because only you know that vibration. And it's been incredibly challenging to keep expanding on this path and being in certain situations and scenarios with people that just fully can't comprehend what I have to share and, you know, what I have to offer. So there's been a lot of myself that I've been having to remove myself from in order to stay in vibration. And I want to say that you have to have no guilt around from that. If there are places, spaces, and people you have to walk away from in order to keep your sanity, that is an absolute must. And, you know, I've been making a lot what might be considered to be selfish moves in the most recent weeks, but I've had to do that for my own divine sanity. There are some paradigms and some expressions that were bumping up to my reality that just was not in alignment for me. And I'm on a very specific pathway this lifetime, and I've had to free myself from a lot to be able to open up a space for me to be able to receive different understandings now. And I think that so many in the collective are in that space and in that time also. So if you've been finding things increasingly challenging, please know that there is a different way of living, a different way of existing out there for you, and you will simply jump into that timeline. And, you know, I forgot this expression because I wasn't supposed to know it, because I think I was having to deal with things, you know, at the very root and survival mode of expression, so that you can then raise up into your higher chakra. So I've been very much in my root chakra for a few weeks now, which isn't comfortable for me. I'm a triple air Aquarius, so it's really difficult for me to remain that grounded. I kind of like to pop off the surface of the root, and then I like to fly in the cosmos, in the existence. That feels most comfortable for me. So for me to try and really ground into the roots of everything and to make new solid foundations was incredibly tricky to me, because it's not my natural state of flow. So I want to say that, you know, the decisions that you make now are creating new roots for these new paradigms of existence, and it doesn't matter what your reality looks like, because you are going to jump into a different expression. And I've forgotten this whole entirety of this existence, and with regards to being able to jump into a new vibration and new energy. And what I want to say is, whatever you have been experiencing or thinking and, you know, dreaming or wishing up, it's because it already exists, and you are simply going to be stepping into that alignment. So it has to be brought to you when you're in the frequency, being able to connect with that vibration. And, you know, this was something that was brought to my attention when I very first started to awaken. It's all about energy. It's all about frequency. And then, you know, I pivoted for some time. I've been in other realms of expression. I've pivoted again. I've been in other realms of expression. And then teams have like brought me back to that understanding. You are always in the energy of where you are supposed to be. But know that when new things are being given to you, it's being given to you for a reason, because you are going to then reach into that paradigm and be able to express yourself and achieve that. So if you have lofty dreams and desires, know that they will come to fruition. And then everything else that happens in that in between is bringing you into alignment so that you can handle that vibration. And for some time, everything has been moving so incredibly slowly on my path, and I just didn't get it. I was bringing forward, very high vibrational understandings. I was doing a lot of disclosure, and I just thought, why is my paradigm and my physical plane of existence not shifting around me? It's because I was having to be an energetic match of that which I've been trying to manifest for some time. Sorry, not manifest, create. I've been trying to get out of the habit of saying manifest and saying creation instead. So that I was trying to create, because I've been asking for a lot, and they were saying to me and reminding me this week that, I have to be in vibration, and I have to be with the capabilities to be able to handle that which I'm asking for. And it's not that I'm not capable of that, but when you are a soul that is awakening, there is so much in this paradigm of existence that we have to work through in order to be able to reach that. And specifically when you are on a life path where your soul's entanglement is connected to others, is connected to other realms, space and time, you have to move very strategically. So I want to say to those that feel like they are having to make decisions in this paradigm right now, please, please, please take some time before you say yes or no to anything, because it's very, very important that you choose what you feel in your heart to be your truth. And I feel like I've been halted in every which way and turn on this pathway because I was still just over giving to others. And it's only been this last week, I'm being completely honest with you all, everyone, that I've started to see where my soul's inherent expression is to jump in and help others. So as a light worker here, as a what might be considered to be a star seed here, a multidimensional that is aware of whom they are and their origins, my soul just wants to jump in and help others. And it's only been this past week that I've been allowed to see where I was taking on the karma of others because I knew my soul could handle it. And I've been doing this time and time again. So there were life paths that I was connecting to that didn't actually necessarily need to be connecting to me anymore. So I've been cutting a lot of cords. I've been letting go of things that weren't truly mine because it was not helping other souls either in their expression. Souls have to go through their life path of their own accord. And that's not to say, when we're connecting to others, it's not in alignment, because it is, because we do decide to have these connections with others. But there was a lot that I'd taken on, just because I was a soul existing here, and I just said yes, 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 yes to everything because I knew that I could handle it. But now where I'm in my journey, I'm having to be much more strategic and where I'm placing myself, because I'm now supposed to be living for me. And I think many in this collective have been feeling into this notion too. The spaces and places and people that you're around perhaps aren't resonating anymore, and it's because you're coming into alignment for you. You've learned everything that you can, you've helped as much as you can in those spaces, and now you're pivoting to help yourself. And it feels wrong. I felt incredibly guilty at points in this journey. I felt very much like I wasn't doing my work here because I was being lighter in my expression. And somewhere, it feels like to be fighting this pathway specifically with regards to disclosure and the truth, it feels like you have to fight tooth and nail to, be making a difference. And teams of light were assuring me that that's not the vibration that they want me to be in anymore. That's not what my soul was craving to be in anymore. It's of a completely different understanding. And I think so many souls in this collective are now ready to take that paradigm as well. So, if you would like to discuss any things that have been brought to your attention, please know that I'm totally here for that. I'm here to channel your teams of light too. If you feel like you've not been receiving their understanding and their vibration for you in the most succinct ways, please know I'm here to decipher any messages that you might be getting in your dreams as well. And I want to say that my dream time has now become much more relevant than my waking life right now. It's very different for me. I've been a soul that hasn't very much been tapping into my dreams because I didn't sleep that much this life path. So for me to be shifting in energy is a whole new vibration, which is why I say, I'm a student every day. I'm very awakened, but there is so much more here for me to learn too. And I want to say that just because you might not experience the others in ether the same ways that I do, that you see me do, does not mean that you are what am I trying to say? Sorry everyone, I'm channeling and there's a lot of energy. Does not mean that you are not just as tapped in as I. And this is why it's so important to understand how you receive information and frequency, because there is not one right way to receive. And I want to say that you are given information in the way that your soul has asked to receive it. So please be aware of that. And if there's an aspect of yourself and soul that you're trying to expand into, that's okay to take that time out to try and tap into that vibration too. New skills, new divination tactics, and meditation, whatever that looks like to you, moving your body in different ways. This might be you know, taking up different sports or martial arts or something, that's okay. But don't try and fit yourself into a box that isn't supposed to be your soul. And you know, there were many times in this life path that I tried things and I thought, yeah, that's not for me. I tried something else and I was like, yeah, that's absolutely not for me. But I've seen other souls, you know, succeed in those ways. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll try this. But you have to focus in on what's good to you and for you. And it's so, life feels so much easier when you focus on what is in alignment for you and you let go of all the rest. And for such a long time on this pathway, I've been really having to learn this I want to say iconic movement of surrender, because it is an iconic movement. And once you learn it, once you know it, it changes everything. And this is every day that I have to learn to surrender in new ways and deeper capacities. But the truth is always going to be, you have to be willing to let everything go in order to be able to move forward. You have to be willing to say yes to you in order to be able to move forward. You have to be willing to say yes to the highest vibration for you and you alone in order to be able to move forward. So this is about being quote unquote selfish to some, because it's here for your highest degree. And I want to say, in some circumstances, to be selfish is the matter between life and death. And it's that true, everyone. And you know, I want to say that however you are experiencing things right now, know that yes, you are well within your capabilities to achieve and attain more, but please be grateful and thankful for what you have right now and the capabilities and the capacities that you do have right now. And I want to say, if you are living seemingly a normal life, I promise you, you're not. There has been everyday experiences that I now see play such an integral role of this life path and of this journey. And there's been the most profound notions of understanding brought to me in very simple ways. And I think I've shared this before, and I was being taught the idea of patience through losing my keys every day. Every time I tried to leave the house, I was getting more and more infuriated because I knew I left my keys in a very specific place. And then as soon as it came for me to wanting to leave the house, this was going through 2022, 2023, 2024. No, I'm lying, 2022, 2023 specifically. The keys wouldn't be in that space. And teams of light were teaching me the idea of patience. So please know, in your everyday life, you are learning massive quantum frequencies and energetic expressions. So please do not think because you're not sitting down and channeling in this way that you're not receiving the same vibrations that I'm receiving. I promise you. And teams of light really wanted me to hammer this notion into you. However you are experiencing your life, however you are living your life, it is there for you and your soul has asked for it. So be thankful of where you are. And we have to stop looking at other people's lives and saying, I wish I had that. And of course, you know, having aspirational dreams of other people's lives, that is completely okay. That's where we gain our inspiration. But you have to focus on you and what is capable for you in this present given paradigm and what is here for your existence. And like, you know, asking for the highest vibration of that too. So if you are not happy where you are in your life, ask to be shown the path of least resistance. But I promise you, you have to be willing to give up a lot in order to be able to receive that. And it takes a lot to say yes to yourself. But those times are happening now. You have to say yes to you. You cannot live for other people, and you cannot live, you know, through other people's existence either. You have to take your life by the horns and say, okay, like, I'm ready to do this now. And it does take a lot, everyone, but your soul came here to do this. If you're watching this channel, your soul has been seeking the highest form of expanse and expression. So please listen to this calling, and the time is now. So if you are wanting to make these decisions and you're not entirely sure, you know, please know I'm completely here to support you and bring your teams of light through so that we can discuss that together. But I want to say that you are well within your capabilities to be making these decisions alone. Please do just take some time out to be at peace and listen and receive. But I think that best be all for myself today. This has felt like a ramble and a rant, everyone, getting on my soapbox, but this is definitely coming from the energies behind me pushing this forward, because they are wanting to shake some right now, and they're saying, please wake up and listen to what exactly is happening in your life, and it's there for a reason. And if you're going through some of the most challenging expressions, please know it's there to be for your highest good. And you know, I was the first to say I have no idea what was going on in my life path. I was reaching real dark and deep expressions of this life path, and specifically where I find myself in terms of location as well, everyone, right now when I'm filming this all for you. So it's been a really interesting expression being in this space now and sharing this information for you all, because I've been very much taken down memory lane in the past week or so. Like I said, like looking back at my whole entire life path, and I see where some of the most incredibly painful moments in my life was completely there to make me and not break me. And I want to say that if you find yourself there, you know, whatever you are experiencing, I promise you it is there for your highest good, and you are working through things so that your soul can expand. But please know my heart is completely with you. I pray for each soul in this collective every day. I pray for humanity every single day, and those souls that are really struggling. But I promise you, you are struggling to allow for yourself to expand. So please listen to those times where you can take a break, where you can take a beat, and where you can just be in stillness with yourself. And sometimes, you know, that stillness is painful. Sometimes that stillness is deafening. Sometimes that stillness is, you know, bringing up things and emotions within you that you just don't want to face. But I promise you, you have to. And the only way that you're going to make it through is to really sit and feel your emotions, because that's the thing that holds us back, but also can be a catapult in energy for us as well. You have to feel what you are experiencing in order to be able to move forward. And for some time on this pathway, the entirety of my life, I was just numbing myself out, not wanting to feel this pain because it felt so overwhelming. I felt like if I was going to allow for myself to sink into my depths of my shadow and in my pain to the deepest capacity, I wasn't going to be able to make it out. But I promise you, you do. And so many of you have witnessed me in this space expand through that. So, you know, I'm a testament to that. I've been through a lot this lifetime. I've been through a lot, you know, in my previous life, I like to call it, but also on this pathway too. There was so much that was brought to my expression that I thought, you know, I do not know how I'm going to make it through this alive, but I have, and you will too. So please go easy, please go well. But if you would like support, please know this is exactly why I'm here. This is quite a huge part of my existence here, is to help other souls make it through some of the darkest challenges of their life, and also to show you, you know, there is a different way. I've been learning to live life in a very different way, in a much lighter way, and I'm so incredibly grateful for that. And I'm sharing to you that that pathway is available to you too. Doesn't matter what your life has been up until that point, until this point right now. I promise you, there is a lighter vibration for you to step into. But to be able to access that, you have to choose you and to make tough decisions, and you have to say no to the things that you know aren't healthy or helpful for you. But I think that best be all for myself today, and I'll be back again when it aligns. But please know you're all in my heart. I pray for you all every single day. I send affirmations of light to the entirety of humanity, this earth, and, you know, light spheres, not light spheres, but that's a confirmation for someone. Light spheres is a notion for someone. I said tree in the most recent, I think, MJ video. So tree and light spheres too is an expression for some, maybe some synchronicity there for you. But please, please, please listen to your heart and soul and follow your heart's calling, and because that is truly your soul's calling too. And, you know, to my souls that find it difficult to be selfish, you know, it's not about being selfish, it's about doing what is best for you, because in doing what is best for you, you are doing what is best for everyone involved as well. But please go easy, please go well. I'm here to support. Please do shoot me an email if you would like to be discussing what is happening in your life path and in your journey right now. Teams of Light really wanted me to share that with you all, because I think they've been trying to reach some for some time. So yeah, that's there for you all as well, everyone. But that's all for myself today, and we're back again when it feels aligned. Take care.